Dude, I'm not worried about the team. I'm worried about the travel. I'm tired. I just got here.
Is McDavid hurt? Has he even played this series?
He's scoring in Game 5.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How many goals do you have this entire playoffs?
Right.
Yeah, the entire playoffs. I think it's 7. Oh, Brad Marchand, 6?
Yep.
In this series alone? Okay.
Yep.
Hi, Conn Smythe.
And a garbage goal does not count as a goal in my personal record book. I mean, seriously, it was a meaningless goal. I mean,
I want to go through some stats with you guys in a second. But, Zaslow, how much are those tickets going to go for?
Last I checked was last night. Cheapest ticket was $1,100 just to get in the building.
wow.
I can't pay $1,100. No. It's $1,100 times 3 for me because I got to take both my boys. So I'm out.
You're out. Too steep because this has been a hell of a run by you. You agreed to work here for either free based on a bet, Atlanta against the Miami Heat, work for free or work for pay throughout the Panthers run, and the Panthers are at least going to give you the maximum number of games possible to play to get paid here throughout the summer on hockey and kick in on the bonus, which we did not have the bonus in play of now you get bonus shows paid for because the Panthers have had the run of runs. When I say they're a great road team, though.
Do I get to keep coming after hockey, by the way?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It triggers a clause. If the Panthers win the championship, it triggers a clause of you continuing on this heater.
Wow.
Good.
That's the contract language I saw. As a road team, okay, they're 25-11 since 23 in the playoffs, okay? That stat is crazy. That stat is nuts. 25-11 on the road in the playoffs since 2023 makes them the best road hockey postseason team there's ever been. They've got 61 road goals. They're plus 30 on the road. They're afraid of no one. And after losing that way in Game 4, where Edmonton breathes life for the first time on, we can get it to 2-2, and we came back from 3-0. We're the only team in the league that can do that to the Panthers. The only team in the league that can go from down 3-0 to winning that game in Florida. But Florida doesn't care, and Florida makes you pull your goalie, and Florida scores more goals than most teams ever have in hockey. And let me revisit for a second the spectacular wrong of Mike Ryan specifically going after Brad Marchand, because these numbers are crazy, okay? He's got as many goals in this final as Draisaitl and McDavid. That third goal of that game is as pretty a goal as there has been in the playoffs. We have the call for that in Finnish and Spanish. But I'm not kidding you when I say the goal at 3-0, we can make an argument that it was the prettiest goal of the playoffs, what Marchand did in every way, from cheating at the beginning because he was in the face-off circle early, to I'm not even understanding how he physically did what he did to be the oldest player to ever do something only Lemieux has done before, which is score more than 5 goals for 2 different teams. Let's play the sound, though, first and finish, and let me again show you how the Spanish language is better.
Marchand hyppää Jake Wallmanin ohi, tekee maalin! Ei voi olla! Brad Marchand! Huikea osuma jälleen Marchand lyö halvalla ylös puolustusta.
That's good.
It's a good call.
It's pretty good, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
What he said.
I that Mike is incredibly wrong about Brad Marchand, who's the most valuable player in this series and scores like no one ever has at his age. He's done something that hasn't been done since 1922. Do you know the team that did it? The Vancouver Millionaires.
Really?
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Le
Original
Batard
6,
Show.
huh?
Did you know there was such a thing as the Vancouver Millionaires? They've got 5 goals on the road. 5 goals on the road in a final from Marchand is the most since 1922. Play the call in Spanish.
Arriba para que venga Marchand, Marchand que se autohabilitó, Marchand puede hacer golazo, Marchand, ¡gol! ¡Gol! ¡Golazo! ¡Gol! De las Panteras, Brad Marchand, espectacular!
Roy, for whatever is your maximum expertise on this team, no one had Marchand being one of the greatest trade deadline acquisitions in the history of the sport, making Luostarinen and Lundell and Marchand like the best third line in the sport. No matter what your expertise was, nobody was predicting this kind of impact from this guy.
Nobody was predicting him getting traded in the first place. I mean, that within itself, like, that was a shocker to everybody in the league. And now, at 37 years old, he pretty much wrapped up Conn Smythe right there. He's the MVP of the entire playoffs.
Yeah, third line has 55 points in 22 games.
Wow.
In case you were wondering, the second-round pick has been upgraded to a first for Boston. So they should feel okay about it.
Marchand espectacular!
It's what makes this team so good is their depth, and they have a first-line guy playing on the third line.
Oh, but Stugotz, yes,
Yeah,
but
Lundell.
Stugotz.
Luostarinen. These are really good players.
Yes.
And whoever gets paired with that line over the course of these 3 years together plays well, too. It's an unbelievable – it's probably the best bottom six line you'll find in hockey, and you're not chasing contemporaries. You're chasing ghosts with that third line.
So let me talk. Lundell, people will talk about him as a two-way player who sees the ice somewhat like Barkov, like
Baby Barkey.
When you talk about the depth of a team that is flogging Connor McDavid and Luostarinen, to have Marchand be a player in 22 playoff games, to have 10 goals and 10 assists, Stugotz, makes him a South Florida all-time legend icon on how runs are done emotionally. Holy, what do you mean we got a guy at the trade deadline who makes us this much better because now we're afraid of no one on the road. We can score more goals than anyone because we'll make you change your goalie before Game 5. And they're now a game away. I want to know where to put this team if tomorrow night's expensive ticket becomes an all-time team in this town because of what they did and who they did it to.
We'll see. I guess it depends on how many people show up at La Carreta to see their legacy within this town. I do think that you can make an argument for Dynasty, even though that's usually reserved for teams that win more than two, even though this is a bit of a ridiculous conversation because they haven't done it yet. Edmonton might be one of the greatest teams of all time, and they just keep running into the Florida Panthers. I think for historical context, on Brad Marchand, a lot of people making the argument this is the most impactful trade deadline acquisition ever, and you have a solid hand. He's probably on the medal stand. Marian Gaborik scored 14 goals for the LA Kings in a great acquisition from the Columbus Blue Jackets. And your guy, Butch Goring, in the 1980s, ended up winning the Conn Smythe.
Yeah.
That's your boy?
Yeah, Butchie. Yep.
Before we go any further, because I want to talk about
Number
this
91.
team. Thank you, Stugotz.
You got it.
What Marchand did to 29-year-old Jake Wallman on that goal, okay, on the goal and finish in Spanish, lovely in any language. It's one thing to get toasted that way, the equivalent of crossed over in hockey, but it's another thing at the end of that play for you to end up on your back in the net.
It's a spectacular goal.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And he doesn't really pull away from guys. The way that he pulled away and got the look is just incredible strength and balance.
But one of the all-time playoff performers, like you're talking about somebody that we're putting in a breath with Lemieux, Stugotz, on being able to put this together during the playoffs. I'm going to have a hard time historically putting my head around how wrong Mike is.
I'm not wrong. Look, I was wrong in calling him a rotational winger. That being said, Jesper probably does this.
You were wrong in wanting him to be a healthy scratch.
Yeah, Mackey probably does this. Those are all very gifted players.
Mike, can I help you turn this around? You were motivating Marchand. That's all you were doing.
You guys are mischaracterizing Mike. Mike likes to be proven wrong.
Yes.
And he likes saying he's wrong, and more importantly, he likes to be proven wrong.
Yes.
Right.
So
another thing I like is being able to get through a thought.
Yeah. Had you proven him wrong, he would love this, but he's not wrong. When he's wrong, he'll be happy to tell you when he's wrong. Go on, Mike.
What do you think he's saying there?
I will tell all of you today that before we go any further on this, because I am excited to talk hockey today, like it really is wonderful to just witness greatness and forgive me for wanting a Game 7 just because it's even better. and because just this team, good God, it's what I said to you before Game 7 last year in terms of what they're good at, burying you in the corner at the end, even if you've come back from down 3-0, they're better at this year. Like, why would I or anyone involved with the Florida Panthers be afraid of a Game 7 on the road against anybody? Like, they know they're champions. And it's not like McDavid. I'm not saying you shouldn't respect McDavid, and it's not weird that he only has one goal in 5 games, and Edmonton and Canada are about to fall on his neck because nobody wants Florida to win. Like, why would you want Florida to win? Why? This is supposed to be a coronation. Hockey's not rooting against McDavid. Why would they root against McDavid? You've got all of hockey wanting one result and one thing standing in the way, and it's this swamp thing.
Unbelievable. And the fact that the Panthers have done this on short rest. 1 day of travel.
So Mike is saying, let's not talk about this now, but I do want to put it in the context because even if they lose Game 6, I want to see what the stakes are in Game 7 are. On, Dynasty or underachiever?
Right.
On once in 3 years because you thought you were so close to 3?
Everything's on the line, Dan, for all the marbles, right?
A lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can make that argument when you consider the first time that they made it to the final, they were the last seed in.
But they were still there, though.
Yeah, I understand, but no, they were huge underdogs to Vegas. So that season wasn't a disappointment.
Right.
They win the cup last year. If they lose to Edmonton and the best player in the game, 2 of the greatest in the game in Draisaitl and McDavid, I don't think anyone looks at them as like, you really underachieved. I don't think it's a Boston Celtics victory.
Okay, but regardless.
Oh, but up 3-2 if they wind up losing the last 2. It's a total disaster.
That would hurt.
That's
Yes.
where it gets disappointing.
Yes.
The context of, hey, in Game 5, we had this big lead.
I want people to feel the weight of a historically great series between what I believe to be historically great teams. People will blame McDavid. I will not. The Panthers will choke it out of you. Like, I understand why you need your performer. Like, McDavid's got to be better than the Panthers. Everyone, I'm guessing Billy and Stugotz are now in the Greg Cody camp of ready to get on board with McDavid's overrated.
I mean, I was there last year. Dan, how can you give a guy a pass if he's the greatest player in the game and he has 1 goal through 5 Stanley Cup games? How can you give him a pass? Now, we'll see what he does in Game 6 and Game 7 if there is a Game 7, but he doesn't get a pass. You have to be better than that.
And this is fair criticism, and it's what comes for the all-time greats. I'm just telling you I respect the Panthers enough to say that anyone they choke out, it's because they choke everyone out. Like, I've watched enough of this for 2 years to know that it is a failure on the bottom line for McDavid, and those are eternal, by the way. Like, this will haunt him if he cannot beat this team, and the Panthers will stand all the stronger over the years in terms of what they did historically because they held down LeBron at the beginning, because they did what the big 3 in Boston did to LeBron, made him change teams.
This is stopping LeBron in his prime. He's
Yes.
27, 28 years old. This is supposed to be the run in which he dominates the league.
I would say if the Panthers win tomorrow and you don't get a big game tomorrow from McDavid, it becomes the Panthers won 4 out of 5 after Edmonton won Game 1 and McDavid had a goal in the series. Like, he'll get absolutely crushed. Just annihilated.
I gotta keep reminding people about something, that this is not a one-man team. Yeah. It's still Leon Draisaitl on this team.
It's been fantastic,
and he might be 3rd place in Conn Smythe right now.
Yeah, the way that I hedged last year when the Panthers had a huge lead was, let me take McDavid, Conn Smythe. I'm doing something similar, but I'm hedging with Leon Draisaitl, who I think out of the 2 deserves it more just because he's better defensively. But last year, the saving grace for McDavid was it was his first Stanley Cup, and he won the Conn Smythe. So how much can you really go at him? He battled back from 3-0. If the narrative plays out the way that Zaz suggested, then the media jumps on his neck, and he starts feeling the things that LeBron started feeling after that Mavericks loss.
I feel bad for him, to be honest with you. I mean, after watching him for 2 Stanley Cup finals, he's just not that good. You know, regular season guy, compiler. He puts up all the big numbers.
He's a good
in the regular
skater.
season.
Yeah, good
he's a
skater.
fast guy.
Yeah,
Apollo Antonono, all that. Yeah, but once the bright lights turn on, I mean, it's just
he shuts off.
Where does he go?
Literally
Exactly.
won the Conn Smythe,
Yeah,
the most
but-
outstanding player of the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
and he's got 30
We
points.
talked about
He didn't hoist
that
the
they
cup,
were looking
yeah.
for something to give him,
He's
so
got
they gave
30
him that.
points.
Yeah,
30
people
plus points.
people want. Look, here's the thing. This isn't his fault, right? This is an us problem as a society. we all want to feel like our lives are so important and meaningful, when in reality, it's really not in the scope of history, right? We just want to feel like we're watching the greatest thing of all time so that we can go and tell our children, oh, we watched the greatest hockey player of all time, the greatest basketball player of all time, the greatest this, that, the other of all time, so that we feel like our life had some meaning. When in reality, he's just another guy. Just another guy. And just let him be another guy. Why do we put this pressure on him and make him feel like he has to be the best? He has to be a great. He has to win the Stanley Cup or he's nothing. He's just a guy.
Well, Billy, what if you are watching the greatest thing of all time?
I'm not.
Well,
I'm not watching the greatest thing of all time.
McDavid.
Trust me.
What David's running into.
Yeah, the Panthers.
Yeah.
Yes. So Stugotz and Billy are entrenched now in the position of being unimpressed by the Panthers and unimpressed by McDavid.
He's just a guy.
God bless hockey on its way to you in the future.